Fired up Eala raring to strut stuff in Australian Open main draw debut. Manila, Philippines confidence, vengeance and home court advantage. Those will be Eala's fuel for motivation as she plunges for the first time into the Australian Open main draw, which boasts the heftiest prize pool in history starting Monday at the Melbourne Park. Albeit thousands of miles away, the 20-year-old sensation is drawing inspiration and strength from a bevy of compatriots for what she considers as a home court edge in the land down under, which should serve handy in her much-awaited campaign against the sport titans. Aside from a historic main draw stint though, a hefty treasure chest also awaits Eala with a sure purse of $150,000, P8.9 million, her third biggest since raking in $332,160, P19.7 million, in the Miami Open semifinals. Then it gets bigger from there should the stars align for the Filipina bet with $225,000 Australian dollars, P13.3 million, $327,750, P19.4 million, and $480,000, P28.5 million, booked in the second, third and fourth rounds, respectively. This year's Australian Open offers the biggest prize pool ever with $111.5 million Australian dollars for the champion, up from $96.5 million last year. The runner-up gets to take home $2.150 million, while the semi-finalists and quarter-finalists win $1.250 million and $750,000, respectively. It's been amazing. In this part of the world, there are a lot of Filipinos, but the turnout this year has grown significantly, I would say, from the past years, so I'm so happy to see this environment. She beamed during the AO's pre-tournament presser over the weekend. People are excited. When I'm on court, they're excited to see me. It's flattering and it makes me feel welcome for sure. Eala, slowly climbing the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, ranks at now career best number 49, has become a rock star in Oceania starting in her stint at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, and the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne last week. Name it, from online engagements that steadily reaches millions daily regardless of any content featuring Eala to packed game and practice venues, and to meet and greets, she is having it all so far. Eala made the Final Four of the Auckland tourney, her third WTA semis appearance, and was awarded the Yvonne Goolagong Collie Trophy in Kooyong as the 2026 exhibition champion following a 6-3, 6-4 mastery of Paris Olympic silver medalist and 2024 Wimbledon semi-finalist Dana Vekic of Croatia. And that should be enough driving force for her all-time high confidence when she slugs it out with the fastest women's server in WTA number 100 of Alicia Parks of the United States at 8 a.m. Monday, Manila time. It's definitely great for confidence, added Eala, former world junior number 2 and winner of the Australian Open girls doubles with Indonesian pal Priska Madeline Nugroho. Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here. It would be perfect timing for Eala, who earned direct entry as a top 50 player, to score her second main draw victory ever after the US Open after having been eliminated as early as the qualifying round in the past 3 years as a wildcard. Although up against the Grizzled Parks, who shares history with Venus Williams, 2007, netting the fastest serve for a female tennis player at 129 miles per hour in the 2021 US Open, it's go time in full force for the grateful lefty Wunderkind. It feels great. I'm super excited. Coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So I'm super excited coming here in full force. She vowed, also taking pride in the country's historic hosting of the Philippine Women's Open on January 26 to 31st with her availability, as a wild card still depending on her AO campaign. I tried to take it with a spoonful of gratitude. Not a lot of people get to experience being here in this lifetime. It's been a busy month, but there were so many blessings and memorable moments. My team has done well to arrive here in the best shape possible. The Melbourne sun has a way of exposing nerves. It bleaches excuses, sharpens shadows, and dares young dreamers to stand tall beneath its glare. For Alex Eala, that light feels less like interrogation and more like invitation. This is the moment she's rehearsed in quiet courts and crowded airports, the first page of a chapter she has always believed would come. Her Australian Open main draw debut isn't simply an arrival, it's a declaration. Eala walks onto the grounds with a smile that hides a furnace. The grin is familiar to Filipino fans who have watched her grow from prodigy to professional, but there's something new behind it now, a certainty earned rather than imagined. Years of grinding through qualifiers, wild cards, and expectations have sharpened her edges. She's not here to look around. She's here to play. Melbourne Park hums with the ritual of beginnings. The squeak of fresh shoes, the rhythmic thump of balls warming into purpose, the murmur of languages colliding into one universal hope. Eala absorbs it all, her steps light, her shoulders loose. She knows this stage doesn't owe her anything. She also knows she has something to take. What fuels her fire isn't just the milestone, it's the memory of the work. The early mornings when the court lights flickered awake before dawn. The afternoons when legs screamed but the basket was still half full. The evenings spent studying patterns, learning when to strike and when to wait. Those hours have formed a player unafraid of the long rally, unbothered by the scoreboard's mood swings. Eala's game has matured into patience with teeth. Her left-handed craft gives angles that whisper and then bite. A forehand that opens space like a locksmith, a backhand that steadies the hand, a serve that has learned to speak with confidence rather than apology. But it's the movement that tells the truest story, feet that chase relentlessly, hips that pivot with balance, lungs that believe in one more ball. She's learned that points aren't won in a flash as often as they're earned in the refusal to miss. The weight of history travels lightly with her. She carries a nation's pride not as a burden but as a wind at her back. Messages from home, short, earnest, hopeful, buzz through her phone. They remind her that every sprint, every fist pump, every brave second serve is seen. Yet when the umpire calls time, the world narrows to the rectangle of blue. It's just Eala and the problem in front of her. There is a moment before the first serve when everything goes quiet. The racket feels heavier, then suddenly perfect. She breathes. She bounces. Fired up doesn't mean reckless, it means ready. It means trusting the hours that brought her here and welcoming the pressure as proof of progress.